What's up, guys? Welcome back to another very special episode of Critical Points. Right now, we got your boy Suddy on the line. What's up, Suddy?
Not nothing much. Very excited to be here today. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Really appreciate you guys having me on today.
Absolutely. I've been following you for a while on the mobile esports circuit, or watching your gameplay, watching your casts. You definitely have a great passion for mobile esports. Tell us a little bit about yourself. How did you get into mobile esports org as far as casting and the Darkest Nation, all that? Bring us together. Shed some light on that.
So I started mobile gaming years ago, almost, I guess it'd be 12 years, I think, ago. I started gaming on the iPod Touch Photo, so the classic with the click wheel, playing like the Klondike type of games on there. And when I got my first iPod, it was the iPod Touch 5th generation, or the iPod Touch Nano, iPod Nano 5th generation, not the Touch. Wow. Loved that device and played a couple games on there. It wasn't anything competitive, but it really started my love for mobile gaming. Love being able to, play if you're at the church or at the doctor's office or in the car, even setting up your room, anywhere, being able to do that, not having to be tied down to your console, to your living room. I got my first iPod, saved up my money at around the age of 10, and started playing all kinds of games. I'd played some all kinds of multiplayer games, that is. I'd played some games in the past on friends' devices, such as Modern Combat. I started playing Modern Combat Sandstorm on my cousin's iPod. But when I first started playing, it was Brothers in Arms 2, because I was completely broke at that time. $150 was a lot of money for a 10-year-old.
Absolutely.
And so I was playing Brothers in Arms 2, a Global Front, really got heavily involved in that game, and then ended up going to Rainbow Six Shadow Vanguard. If any OG iOS players remember that game, it was a Game Loft game, so much fun to play. The quote-unquote pros in the game would use the stock pistol, and then, because it had a one-shot headshot potential on it, and you would run around and basically quick scope in on your head and take a player down, and then you had the C4 as well, so you could time the C4. A lot of fun. It's hard to explain it if you never played it, but probably a couple gameplays up on YouTube you can still find. Since then, though, I switched over to Android from iOS because I wanted to get my first smartphone, and I just could not afford an iPhone. I got a Galaxy S3, and that device was absolutely horrible. I mean, it lagged at MC2. That's how bad it was. And if you play an MC5, MC4, you get 15 FPS. It was bad, but I loved it. I loved playing Modern Combat 4 and Modern Combat 5, and I started playing those games a lot more. I got really into it. And we started getting into more of the mobile community on the Android side, got into multiple Kick chats, chat rooms.
Oh, Kick days.
Yes, the Kick days indeed. I believe Master Bates was there, and some other guys as well. Some of the OGs from the community were all in the Kick chats, and I ended up going to AFK for a while. Actually, some real life stuff happened. Went on a little bit of a weight loss journey, and then I got a new smartphone, and I came back. I got an LG G3, which is what it was, and I came back to start playing again, and got better, back reacquainted with the community, I guess is the best way to say that. Started playing a lot more, and then Darkest Nation had a recruitment in 2015, I believe it was, in July or June was when the video went up, and I knew a couple of the Dean guys in the Kick chats, and I applied. I said, hey, I applied for the recruitment, that is. I just kept playing. Really, I was not expecting to get recruited at all. I think it was about 10,000 people applied to that recruitment. It was something around there, 7,000 to 10,000. The number, I've heard multiple different numbers. Anyways, it was a lot. I was not expecting to be recruited at all. And again, I never had the best device at the time, so I was rocking like a 1.5 KD, but 20 FPS you were going up against. So that was the biggest problem. But I got a message one day. Late at night, it was like 1 o'clock in the morning. Why I was up that late, I don't know, but I was up playing Modern Combat 5, and DN Smart, for those of you that may remember him, said, hey, you want to try out? You were picked. And I was like, well, picked for what? He says, for what? The Darkest Nation recruitment. I was like, oh, yeah, I definitely want to try out. So he got us into an FFA lobby. It was on Scramble, MC3 map right there. OG, loved that so much in MC3. But he got on there. It was an FFA, so I had to beat him in the FFA.
Oh, nice.
What I didn't know, though, was that he invited a couple of the other DN members on Android, and plus a bunch of other sweaty tryhards throughout the game. So it was absolutely crazy. It was mind-blowing how many good players were in there. And for whatever reason, my device performed the best it ever had. Solid 30 FPS.
You needed that. You needed that.
30 FPS. Huh?
You definitely needed that device to just to showcase its power at that point.
Exactly. That's about the only time I'd ever showcased the tower. I was praying so hard. But I ended up winning that match. And since then, I've been with Darkest Nation. I've played competitively with Mortal Kombat 5 for a while. Then Critical Ops obviously got announced. Saw some shots of the first beta. I guess, what was that, back in 2016 or I guess end of 2015?
End of 2015, I think, yeah.
Yeah. It's amazing how far we've come. And I got really, really excited. I was with some of the Solar guys as well, playing on Critical Ops, and we're waiting. We signed up for the beta, actually, and was hoping I was going to get chosen. And I believe most people that signed up on the Android side ended up getting chosen. And I remember getting into the first day and playing it, just absolutely falling in love with the game. Don't want to beat up on Mortal Kombat 5 too much, but it kind of took a downhill curve. And Critical Ops, since then, I've loved playing. I played a little bit of competitively when I first started playing, when the game first was released. However, stuff has changed in my life. I've just not been able to keep up with that competitive nature, just because I could not devote so much time to it. However, mobile esports was started, and I was given the position as a caster, or asked as a caster. I had a lot of people bug me to be a caster during while mobile esports was starting, going through the first tournaments, the Phoenix tournament, and there was one before that, I believe, with Patriot Conan and Chase were both casting then. Some guys were bugging me to potentially cast. And I said, fine, if I get the opportunity, I'll do it. And I believe it was last year. We were on the World Cup. It was the NA qualifiers the first time I casted. And since then, everybody's been pretty happy with me. And I've continued on doing what I do is basically talking to Mike and talk about a game that I love playing when I can have a chance.
Yeah, it definitely shows in the casting your enthusiasm and passion for the game, not only as a former player, but also you guys know about the game, you know about the teams and stuff. That's a big deal. You don't want to see someone casting a tournament or an event where, they have a general idea, but they're just literally saying what you see on the screen. I like the fact that you guys throw in the retake, the facts, the stats and stuff, and then also just the knowledge of the players in the community, I think is very important as well, because if you don't have a connection with the community, you can definitely see that on camera, and you guys definitely know the community as well. So let's talk about some of the other stuff. What do you love about casting the tournaments? Do you get like a rush? Do you get like some kind of adrenaline? Obviously there's a lot that goes into it. You guys got to have like the music, kind of set up everything, have your slides and stuff ready. What goes into, like, walk us through today you're casting a day for mobile esports.
All right, so if I'm getting ready to cast for a day, I'm obviously going to set my setup up and get ready for it. Usually before I do that, I work out a little bit. I go running just to get because I like to be hyped as possible, and I like to go running, get the blood moving and whatnot. After that, as I'm waiting for the tournament to start, the stream to start, that is, I usually listen to some music. Depends on how I'm feeling, whether it's some rock or more hip hop and rap, but just to get me hyped up for the event. And I usually do some practicing. I am a very introverted individual, so I talk to myself a lot. I've had some of the most interesting and intriguing conversations ever with myself. So I get a lot of practice in just talking to myself. So I'll talk to myself. I'll have a debate about, the new iPhone or the Xbox One X coming out, or something of that nature, or even pretend I'm doing a cast, Gangstars versus Imperial or D2R or something like that. Just trying that out before the cast, and then go ahead and get in a call with everybody. And usually there is something specific that needs to be said, whether it's talking about the upcoming tournaments we're going to be having, or the last round, get a little bit of information that I need to know. And then from there, I basically just freestyle it, as I like to say. Just, call like I see it as much as possible, and try to remember all the skin names, which can be so difficult for me, at least. But yeah, so that's usually how it goes.
Yeah, I mean, people forget, like, talking is actually an art. It's hard. Like, the fact that you actually practice by doing like a warm-up, so to speak, that's actually difficult. Think about actors that go to do a cold read. It's easy to read it on paper, but then when you actually have to get in front of people and say it, like, that takes a lot of guts and pressure, and just charisma. And that's why it was interesting to me. You mentioned that you're very introverted, because I would never have thought about that. Just based on like how you are, your presence is. So outside of esports, what do you like to do on like your daily basis?
what I like to do on my daily basis, I've mentioned working out. Love to work out. Really enjoy running, lifting weights. Obviously, gaming. I love to game as much as possible. I'm a gamer. I don't consider myself a console, a mobile gamer, or a PC gamer. I'm a gamer. I play on PC. I play on a mobile, obviously iPad, Android, or iOS and Android. That is. So there's different games on both I like to play. Also, recently picked up a Nintendo Switch. So much fun to play, and also the PlayStation 4. Also, I am a huge fan of Star Wars, and being that I am still a little child at heart, I still buy Lego sets once in a while and put those together and display them on my shelf here in the back behind the green screen.
Nice, nice. So you mentioned you like to work out. I love working out as well. You guys are big advocates and sponsored by G Fuel. Now, do you use your G Fuel to also as like a pre-workout before you go into your fitness regimen, or do you just mainly use that for gaming?
So both. I love G Fuel so much. It is an amazing product. So many energy drinks out there, or even just sweet drinks. I usually just drink water. I'll back up a little bit. I usually just drink water. I used to drink a lot of soda, but I don't do that anymore. And G Fuel is just a much more healthy alternative to having a nice sweet, something different than water. You actually mix it with water, but it's something different than just your normal everyday water. I would use it with workouts. Sometimes I will take it before going to a workout. Sometimes, or going to the gym. Sometimes I'll actually drink it during the workout. If I'm more lifting weights, sometimes it's actually great to drink it while you're lifting. If I'm running, though, I don't normally like to put stuff on my stomach. And then, of course, I use it for gaming, and I really have, on a personal level, found that if my reaction time I find is lower, if I'm not as focused on the game, it actually really does help focus me in and get my reaction time up and really help me zone in on the game.
Nice, nice. What's your favorite flavor that you have right now or have tried?
My favorite flavor is green apple. I loved the green apple blow pops as a little kid. Always would try to get those. So it tastes very, very similar to the green apple blow pops, and I absolutely love it. Also, Phaseberry. If you're a fan of mixed berries, Phaseberry is really, really good as well.
Nice, nice. So Mobile Esports has done a lot of different style tournaments for Critical Ops in the last year. Which one to you is one of your personal favorites that you didn't have to cast it, but that you saw? Whether it was this past one, which was the anti-assault, what was kind of groundbreaking, or any of the other ones before?
I really enjoyed the anti-assault tournament the most. I always enjoy hanging out with everybody on stream and watching them teams play, just showing true skill competition. It's just coming together as a community and having fun watching a game and or playing a game that we all love. But the anti-assault tournament was something very, very special to me because the most popular weapon in game is the AK-47. There's just no denying it. Maybe next to it would be the U-Ratio sniper. And those are two weapons you receive very, very commonly, which is actually Sniper Showdown's a lot of fun. Those two weapons are being the ones most primarily used. But back to the anti-assault tournament, being able to see the players that would typically run the sniper rifles or the assault rifle players or the assault rifles, that is, pull out their NMR96, a P90, an MP5, a sniper rifle, a shotgun, and use that primarily as their weapon and have to change their play style is something I found really, really interesting in watching.
Yeah, you definitely saw a lot of SMGs and a lot of shotgun pushes. I thought that was really cool. Is that something that I miss from like some of the old Call of Duty games, Halo stuff? Is that close range shotgun? Just like, not only is it impressive, but it really pisses the other person off that you got hit by the shotgun.
It does. It really does. You get right up in your face, and then you get a couple shots on one of them, and it ends up putting you down a little too fast because the one-shot potential with the shotgun. But as a shotgun player, or even as watching somebody do it, to get up there and have the quick flips to be able to get on somebody and the quick reaction time to adjust and get the kill, even if you're using an SMG or a sniper rifle that has a lot of hitting power or higher fire rate, to be able to use that effectively and get that close is a lot of fun to see.
So let's talk about the current tournament you guys have going on. You mentioned the Sniper Showdown. I like this event. I think it's really cool because one of the favorite things that people love to be good at is sniping. Doesn't matter if it's CSGO, if it's Call of Duty. It's all about that quick sniping, that flick, switching to your pistol. Let's talk about that. I think it's one of my favorite events I've seen so far. The teams, the 4 remaining teams, you have 2 Asian teams and 2 NA teams. This is the first time I've not seen an EU team be in the semis for any tournament, regardless of who's putting it on. I'm very excited for the Asia side because they're finally getting some recognition, and they took down some tough teams. Let's be honest, they took down tough teams. So I personally Maybe it's because I'm biased. I'm Asian. I would like to see an Asian team win. I think that would be great for the community. But I think it's going to be tough. You still have powerhouses, Gangstars in there. What are your opinions? Who do you think is going to come out on top moving forward?
You know, I can't really predict that. As I always like to say, and some people laugh at me when I say that almost any team can beat any team any day of the week. I'm a huge fan of professional football, and I've seen that happen so many times. Gone into a game so incredibly cocky, or not cocky necessarily, but confident that we're going to win. There's, this team's 0-5 or 1-4, whatever it may be. There's no way they're going to beat us. Their past record does not show, and they end up beating you. And I, with any competitive sport, I find that can be the case. So I don't really know what the outcome will be. I guess what I'm hoping for most is just to see the most exciting possible matches, very, very close. Hate to see not hate to see, obviously, if you're a team, beating somebody 13-1, that's a great feeling for that team you did, or for you, the winning team at least, beating that team 13-1, all that hard work you practiced on, and even if you watch some films or scrims or videos of those teams playing, has paid off. But in terms of prediction, I mean, I guess the favorite team could potentially be Gangstars there. They've had some amazing wins, but they've also lost to some teams that some people have been surprised about. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens.
I agree. I don't know if you caught it the last week, I believe it was, the draw that happened. Like, I've never seen a draw in any of these, but because it is the sniper tournament, there was a draw between D2R and Nova.
Correct?
Yes, it was crazy. Yes. Literally, the last 2 seconds they got 2 kills. I think it was Beowulf or Frisky, but that was so exciting to see for the match. Chase was like, I don't know what to do. Like, what do we do from here? But that's exactly the moments that you look for. Like how you're saying, you don't want to see a domination. You want to see close matches, and that goes with any best basketball. Perfect example. World Series, perfect. They go to a Game 7. That's the most hype. The most drama is built by that. So I'm really looking forward to it. Like I said, I'm pulling for the Asian side. But I do think the NA side will take it. But we'll just see. Like you said, anyone can win.
Indeed.
Let's talk about the comp scene. You've been around the comp scene. You've seen it grow. Teams grow, disband. All around, though, I think the whole community is starting to get better. The EU side's a perfect example as far as their teams being stable, and even the Asia side and South America. North America is they jump around a lot.
Yes.
You've seen the competitive scene grow. Do you think there is potentially a great future for Critical Ops?
Oh, I definitely believe there's a great, bright future for Critical Ops. Critical Ops is one of the few mobile games as out right now that is not pay to win. That really does require skill, individual skill to play. I'm not going to name any names here, but you can't just join the game, spend $10 and be a very good player. Not saying you're going to be the best, because even in games like that, somebody with a little bit more skill, that has a little bit more some more proficient aim, will still be able to beat you. But in Critical Ops, anybody can get in with their iPad and sit down. It doesn't matter if you have a Koi skin or a default skin on your AK-47. I can still beat you. And really, I do feel like Critical Ops is going to grow significantly. Mobile devices have become a commodity. They're no longer a luxury. A few years ago, you had the newest iPhone. That was crazy. Today, somebody going, man, I got the new iPhone 8. I mean, it's kind of like, oh yeah, it's not a big surprise, whether it's carriers with their upgrade deals or whatnot. And also iPads. iPads are still a very powerful device, and people are buying them all the time. Your grandma has one of the newest iPads, most likely. I'd be willing to bet. And mobile esports as an industry, everybody has access to it. It's not like a PC. You have to custom build your PC that a smaller minority has, or a console that also a smaller minority has. Most people are going to have a smartphone of some type in their pocket, or an iPad in their backpack, or sitting at home on their bed. And Critical Ops, I can only see growing, and even in mobile esports, just as in general as an industry, is going to continue growing.
Yeah, I highly agree. I think the mobile esports industry is about to really blossom within this next year. With the big LAN in Vegas right now, you have 2 weeks away.
Yes.
Very exciting. Landmark, it's a historic event. You have IMP and Gangstars there. I'm not going to place a prediction. I just want both teams to showcase the game very well and have fun and really enjoy the moment, because that's something that's going to be historic. Hopefully, a lot of people from the community will be there. But this also gives me hope that there's going to be more potential lands. Like there'll be land number
Definitely.
2, there'll be land number 3, and hopefully they get bigger and bigger and bigger as we go on. Not necessarily maybe cash prize, but I'm saying like the event itself, like will get bigger to where it's more showcasing just critical ops, and maybe they can bring 4 teams down and play in a tournament bracket style, or 8 teams. You know, maybe they can do the NA versus EU finally and kind of settle it on common ground. You know, and that time the Asia side and the South American side will also be growing as well, and then you can really do a World Cup and bring them in. That would be spectacular.
Exactly.
That would be, and I would love to see. One of the things I like to see is all the tournament organizers kind of come together to make like some big something. You know, I think
Right.
Valiance does a great job what they do. Mobile Esports does a great job with what they do. If they could combine their ideas and thoughts, I think it would be amazing. And if they all put it together with CF and made a LAN, that would be the greatest thing you could possibly see for this game, I think.
Yeah, and who knows? I could easily be coming down the line. Potentially very soon. Who knows?
I agree. So let's talk about your games that you like to play right now. What are you playing right now on console, PC, and then your mobile devices?
All right, let's start out with mobile. Obviously, Critical Ops. That's usually the multiplayer FPS I'm playing. Played a little bit of MCV recently, which just got released, and then some Bullet Force still. And once in a while, Scrim with on MC4, some old guys.
Nice.
Star Wars: Knights of the Old Republic is one of my favorite RPGs of all time. Maybe even my favorite RPG of all time, which is a game I play on my mobile device all the time. I'm usually playing through it constantly. I think this is my 6th playthrough or something of the game.
Oh, wow.
So that's another game I'm playing on my mobile device. On the console side, console for me, PS4 is pretty much strictly Call of Duty. Really looking forward to World War II coming out here November the 3rd. Yes, it's such an amazing game. Very, very happy Call of Duty is finally returning to its roots.
Returning to its roots. That's what got me into Call of Duty.
Boots on the ground, nobody's jetpacking around, enough kinds of futuristic weapons. So really looking forward to that. Also been playing some Battlefield 1 and Mass Effect Andromeda on the PS4 as well.
Nice.
You mentioned I have a Nintendo Switch, and I've been playing a little bit of Zelda
How is it?
Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild.
How is Zelda? I'm a nerd when it comes to Zelda. That's like one of my favorite stories for like gaming. How is the Zelda on the Switch?
So this is my first experience with Zelda. I've never gotten into Zelda in the past because every time I talk to somebody about Zelda, they said it really held your hand. If you weren't used to it, it would be very, very shocking to you. And I don't like games that hold my hand. I really like being thrown in there in my diaper, and I have to figure out how to do it. And I really like Breath of the Wild because there's not a lot of hand-holding. The really only information in terms of tutorial that's going to pop up is just the very basic stuff. You press this button to swing your sword. You press this button to cook some food, or this button to pick up a weapon off of the ground. The Switch is such an amazing machine, being able to play in tablet mode or in on your TV. And Zelda itself is just such a vast open world, and it's so impressive to see that being able to be rendered on your TV and then pick it up and carry it with you on the go.
Yeah, I agree. So PC side, are you a CS guy, or do you play Call of Duty on your PC? Or do you do RPG stuff? Because you mentioned that you like RPGs.
So on the PC side, I play a little bit of CSGO. However, I'm not that good at it. You guys can already tell I play a lot of different games all over the place. Unfortunately, I never put as much time into one game as I would like. Maybe someday when I retire, I can finally spend 4 hours a day playing each game. But usually the games I play on PC would be RPGs, such as I'm playing through Star Wars: Knights of the Old Republic 2 for actually the first time right now, which is a lot of fun. Maybe even potentially better than the first one. We'll have to see when I complete it. But Overwatch is actually the game I really play a lot on PC, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And recently, Call of Duty World War II open beta for PC just came out, so I've been playing that a little bit as well, which is actually my first experience playing Call of Duty with a mouse and keyboard, which has been very, very interesting. Mouse and keyboard is definitely a lot more accurate than a controller is, so I feel like a little bit of a better sniper than I normally am.
Yeah,
You're
you
playing
can get
on
that
the
quick snap to the person. So
Indeed.
So anything else you'd like your fans to know about either you or Mobile Esports? Is there any upcoming tournaments coming out soon, or just any discounts you can give out for G Fuel? Like, just let us know.
So for discount for G Fuel would obviously be code esports mobile. You guys can get 10% off anything on G Fuel's website. And as I said earlier, green apple is a flavor I would highly recommend. It is an acquired taste, I guess you could say. But if you like the green apple flavor, it is absolutely amazing. As for upcoming tournaments for mobile esports, you guys can follow us on Twitter at esports_mobile. And you can find us online on your internet browser at mobileesports.org and also on YouTube at Mobile Esports. And there we'll be uploading or posting, or I guess it'll be uploading to the website as well, any news in terms of upcoming tournaments for Critical Ops or any other game here in the potential future.
Nice.
So really that's about it for that.
Right on. Well, that's pretty much all I have for today. So thanks for watching the show, guys, and thanks to our special guest, Jake Webb, DN Suddy. And
thank you for having me.
Peace.
Peace, guys.